This morning, we were blessed with a new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine, and it had to happen when I was out of town, so you're only gonna get an audio version. You can't see me jumping up and down in my hotel room. But even with me being out of town, guys, I still have to talk about this glorious trailer because we finally got some Wolverine action. I'll be giving you my reaction to the trailer along with a breakdown and a couple of Easter eggs thrown in here because there's actually some really cool stuff. But it's not just gonna be about my opinion. I want to hear from you guys. What did you think of the new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer? Is the movie looking to be the thing that saves Marvel? Were you hoping for something different? They're still saving that dang cowl. It's leaked all over the promotional material, but we have not seen the Wolverine cowl used in footage. But okay, overall with this trailer, it gave me exactly what I wanted. The last trailer, they really were just teasing Wolverine, and even though we've gotten tons of set photos, the cowl leak like I mentioned, I think it was about time we saw the interaction between Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and that's what this entire trailer was about. Now we open up in a familiar place that Wolverine is just known to be in, a bar. Like his dang video game teaser opens up the same way. And well, Deadpool comes up to Wolverine asking for his help. Now I wonder if this bar is located within the void, because the way things are being set up in this trailer is it looks like not only is this Wolverine a failure, but he's hated by a lot of his people from his universe, which is why the bartender here is almost refusing him a drink.
I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere.
But after some funny quips back and forth and Deadpool making fun of Wolverine for his claws not coming out, hey, been there before, buddy. You get through it. Just say it's never happened before. We get a better backstory involved with this Wolverine, and that's one thing that has intrigued me about this movie is how they're going to explain the existence of this specific Wolverine. Is he the one that we grew up with in the early Fox X-Men movies? Is he going to be the one from Logan, just pulled out of his time before he goes through the story of Logan? And although the trailer paints a picture that he has a very similar story to the Hugh Jackman Wolverine in Logan, where that one also went through a whole universe where his X-Men were dying one by one to where he was just left in charge of old man Charles Xavier, this Wolverine completely failed and all the X-Men before him, his teammates, his foes, all dead. That's where we see this graveyard of what looks like the tombstones of all the X-Men before him, where he let his universe down and die, and I guess it got pruned to where he's just living in the void.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Deadpool in the trailer mentions that he's trying to avoid this same thing going on in his universe, and he just desperately wants Wolverine's help. So it could be the thing that destroyed Wolverine's universe is now destroying Deadpool. So yeah, this looks like it'll be a Wolverine variant, and it shouldn't matter. It's still Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Part of me feels like you consider other previous Wolverine movies variants. But the other big things I want to talk about in this trailer before we get into some of the Easter eggs and little cameos being shown in here is, boy, they did it. They gave Wolverine that sleeveless costume. That was one of the complaints fans were seeing from those early photos is, man, they should have gotten rid of the sleeves, show off them Hugh Jackman muscles. And well, that's exactly what we're gonna get, and Hugh Jackman does not disappoint. The man has some guns on him, dude. Looking at some closer shots, it looks like at one point he's clearly gonna rip off his sleeves and just go like berserker Wolverine mode. I love this. The MCU has sometimes been kind of bad with battle damage suits. Early on they were pretty good with it, but nowadays, especially with their suits being entirely CGI, the battle damage just doesn't hit as much. But here you can see they've gone through some battles, they fought some people, and for all we know, it might be Deadpool who rips his sleeves and say, yeah, there you go, you're welcome, fans, right to the camera, you know, something like that. And well, speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, we do get plenty of shots of that as well in here, and it looks like it's gonna be such R-rated fun because Wolverine gets Deadpool right in the dang groin. Gave him 3 extra booty holes there. That fight scene alone is just gonna be fun with them both having regenerative abilities. It's gonna be nothing but damaging each other in the most hilarious and brutal way possible as they heal up. But with some of that visual goodness out of the way, let's just dive into some of these Easter eggs, man, because wow, we have a lot of cool things in here. We have a Rob Liefeld mention with a store called Liefeld's Just Feet. Rob Liefeld is the creator of Deadpool, so he gets a mention in here, but he's also notorious for not being able to draw feet on his comic book characters, so looks like they're poking fun at that here. Another small Easter egg in this photo is you might want to take a look at the gold guns Deadpool has. It's been rumored that there will be multiple multiple Deadpool variants in here, and well, that's pretty much been confirmed with promotional art that's leaked. Kid Deadpool, Dog Deadpool, who does show up in this trailer. Dog Deadpool is here, but one of the Deadpool variants has these gold guns, and Deadpool is going to constantly be bickering with this other Deadpool about wanting those gold guns. I imagine it's going to be a lot like the way Rocket Raccoon is constantly wanting other people's stuff, but there you go, Deadpool's going to get his hands on them. One of the bigger shots with just tons of Easter eggs and cameos being thrown in here is this right here of a giant Ant-Man head that is being used as the base for Cassandra Nova, the villain in this movie. But we have a lot of X-Men that have popped up in previous movies showing up here. We have Lady Deathstrike here, who fought Wolverine in X-Men 2. We have Azazel, who you can just tell from his red skin. Toad can be seen here off and to the side. We last saw him in the first X-Men movie. And we even have Callisto, who also appeared in X-Men 3. Now, we saw in the previous trailer that they showed off Pyro, and we're like, man, they're really giving away some of the more background X-Men and not the real popular ones like, you know, a James Marsden, a Storm, Halle Berry. They're probably saving those big ones for the actual movie. It's being said around now to kind of like tame expectations for some of those bigger cameos. Who knows if this is true or not, but it's being said that they kind of want to save a lot of the bigger faces for something like Secret War. So this could be why we're getting a lot of like the background X-Men characters showing up here in cameos. I guess I don't mind that. I really would have loved to have seen James Marsden in there. There's still a good chance he will be in there. But if for some reason a big X-Men character that you wanted to see from the past doesn't show up in here, like Halle Berry Storm, it could be because Kevin Feige is maybe wanting them to show up in Secret Wars. Talking about the Ant-Man head though, because I saw a fan point out something brilliant that this movie is doing that I didn't even catch. So this isn't just the Ant-Man suit. When the mask is opening up, you can see the skull of Ant-Man still in it. So this is a dead Scott Lang. Most likely a variant from another universe, unless this is a body of his from the future, which would be really sad. But since we know the villain of this movie, Cassandra Nova, who is looking a lot like her comic book counterpart, is supposed to be the evil sister of Charles Xavier, she turned the cerebral head of Ant-Man into her own Cerebro. The same way Charles Xavier has his in the X-Mansion to be able to contact or keep an eye on other X-Men out there. She has done the same thing, but this time using it actual cerebral head. That is some genius work right there. I love that. And I think it's going to be so interesting trying to see Wolverine and Deadpool fight her, because one of the constant things that's being said about Xavier is that he always gets nerfed, whether it's in the cartoons, in the movies, because his telepathic abilities are so powerful, and that looks like what Cassandra Nova is using here, controlling Wolverine from not attacking her. But bringing us to the end of the trailer that had me hyped, a portal opens up Doctor Strange style, and it looks like Deadpool and Wolverine are jumping over into another universe. Since it clearly looks like they're jumping out of the skull of Ant-Man, this is still them in the void, and there's only really two options of where they're headed. They're either going back to Deadpool's original universe, where he still wants to save his friends and loved ones, or this could be the big jump of them finally being in the MCU. Part of me is leaning towards the MCU because, again, the only people we know that can make these kind of portals is Doctor Strange, but the MCU has set it up. If you just have a sling ring and some magic within your blood, Ned style, you can just open up a portal to wherever you'd like. But that is also an interesting thing about this trailer, because we heard at CinemaCon they showed off footage that revealed Chris Hemsworth's Thor having a little cameo in the movie, but also crying over the dead body of Deadpool. I thought that they would have included that in this trailer as another way to make it very obvious to general audiences. This is an MCU movie now. It's not a Fox movie. This is Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU. But I guess this is enough visual cues. Doctor Strange portal, the giant dead Ant-Man, even Goliath thrown in there, that it should be kind of obvious to some people. But yeah, I cannot wait. This trailer looks awesome. I'm hoping there's still a bunch of surprises that they're saving. I'm gonna be so sad if this portal jumping scene is literally the end of the movie and we only get like 5 minutes of Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU. But I guess that's also what they have to do. They have to start building towards these Avenger movies and getting us excited excited because aside from Secret Wars and just hearing, it could have Hugh Jackman Wolverine, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, all these other classic heroes from the earlier movies jumping in, story-wise, villain-wise, even the current Avengers lineup, not that excited just yet. But this is where I throw it off to you guys. You see the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. What were your favorite moments? What did you think about it? Again, apologies for this video being audio only, but this was so awesome I definitely had to talk about it, and I hope the travel mic I brought was suitable enough. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.